For real, for real. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Life to the Full Connect call Tuesday night. Super happy to be here with you guys. I have fixed my Zoom, so now we have a proper recording, which of course is always fun if you don't mind listening to me talk. So tonight we are going to talk a little bit about just what ifs. What ifs, what are they? And what kind of power are they having over us? And, you know, I hear people say, what if a lot when we have something like Plexus, right? Because we offer people supplements, we offer people hope, we offer people change, and we hear things all the time. Well, what if it doesn't work? Well, what if there are side effects? Well, what if this person doesn't believe me? What if they get offended if I reach out to them? What if I don't lose weight? What if I gain weight? What if, you know, all of these things. What if it's a waste of money? What if it's, you know, it's this, that, or the other thing? And we have so many what ifs that we say in life as well. And what's really crazy is these two small words can literally stop us from big decisions that can impact our life in a huge way. And when you say the flip side of the what if, right? What if it doesn't work? Well, what if it does? There is so much hope in the what if it does, right? In the flip side. And yet so many times we allow that negative end of the what if to be the thing that determines our future, that determines the choices that we make. And so a lot of times in Plexus, you will hear people say the phrase, what if it changes everything, right? And I, for a long time, would do this like hashtag, what if it changes everything? Hashtag, spoiler alert, it will, right? Because I'm like, hello, it will change everything. And anyway, so I think that what I think is so interesting about the what if is I think that if we sit down and if you have a pen, I would even challenge you to maybe take 20 seconds and jot down some situations that maybe you have said what if in, and jot them down. I'll give you a couple seconds. So any kind of what if, whether it was about Plexus, maybe it's about sharing, maybe it's about your products, maybe it's about something totally separate. Maybe it's about doing the fasting challenge, anything. Maybe it was about making your New Year's resolution, picking a word for the year. Okay, let's pick something semi-recent, right? Taking a job, leaving a job, right? Any of these kind of things. So if you have something in mind or written down, and I want you to think about what end of that what if were you on? Were you on the side that constantly played all of the negative what ifs? Or did you play the positive what ifs? Or did you look at both and say, okay, what if this works? What if it doesn't? Okay, well, let me weigh out the pros and cons of both and make like a rational decision. Or did you just completely go toward that negative end that stopped you in your tracks from making any kind of change? Because we see this all the time. People say that they want change. People say they want things to be different. And yet they do not want to take the steps out of their comfort zone to do the thing that will get them there, right? So many people say, right. I mean, Dave Ramsey says this a lot, but I don't think he like came up with it, but they say, right, if you want something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done. Right. And so many times though, we just stop ourselves with that what if phrase and we let it have so much power over us. But I wrote down this. I hope it makes sense. Let me throw this at you guys. This thought, the things that the what if stops you from pursuing now will be the things that you regret and say, what if about later? The things that you sit and you say, what if this doesn't work? Later on, 10 years down the road, you're going to be sitting there saying, man, what if I would have tried it? What if it did work? And so don't let today's what ifs turn into tomorrow's regrets. Because I think that there is something really powerful here. And what I want to get to is what is deeper in that what if is that it's not just this stopping like, oh my gosh, what if it doesn't work? I want you to go a little deeper. Well, what if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't? What's the worst thing that could happen? I mean, when it comes to the products, I tell people all the time, so what if it doesn't work? Okay, you get your money back, right? Or you stop taking them, right? You know, we say to people, best case scenario, it changes your life. Worst case scenario, you get your money back, right? Plexus has a 60-day money back guarantee. Most things in life, there is some sort of like, you can try it out and then you can stop. I mean, even a job, start a job, you can always quit. Sometimes it's a hard thing to do, right? But you can stop. It doesn't hurt to give it a shot for most things in life to at least try. And so many times it is the fear, like what is the real fear that's stopping us? I don't think that you're really afraid of like it not working, right? But maybe sometimes I think some of us, like, let's take Plexus, for example. What if it doesn't work? Well, what if it doesn't work? What's the worst thing that could happen if it doesn't work? Well, I look like a fool because I believed something that was maybe this weird thing that other people thought was stupid, right? So you're not really afraid of it not working. You're afraid of looking stupid, right? So what is it for you? I want you to go down that track a little bit and think about like, well, what if it didn't work? What if you did waste your money? I'll tell you what, we have Leaders Retreat that some of us earned coming up this weekend. And just side note, Super Saturday is on Saturday. That's something every single person who is a Plexus ambassador or wholesale member has access to. I think it's $20 to register. Usually there's some kind of like gift afterwards, as in like sometimes they'll give codes away or different things like that. But you can watch it. It's only a couple hours long. It's on Saturday. And if you register, I believe you'll get the rewatch as well. And it is so good. It is so good, you guys. It is invaluable training, whether you're just consuming the products and you want to learn a little bit more, or if you're sharing this and you want to learn more. It's really amazing that like Plexus, everything they do is top notch. So that's a side note. But so Leaders Retreat, and when it got canceled in Arizona, we were going to go to Nashville to kind of celebrate Leaders Retreat together, a bunch of us. And I found plane tickets for $17 each way. And I was like, some people were like, well, but what if you're not able to go because of COVID or all these stupid things? And I was like, yeah, but what if I am? Why? It's $17. Like, why am I going to miss out that opportunity just for that? And I was willing to take that risk. I was reminded of that because today I got an email that said, oh, pick what, do you want to purchase your bags ahead of time for your flight? And I was like, oh, wait, I should go and see if I could cancel that. But I regret purchasing those tickets? No, it was $17 each way. And here I could have had the opportunity to be with all my people. I'm still going to get to be with some of my people. Thank you. Thankful for that. But anyways, I was willing to take the risk. It was a super tiny risk. Okay. But it was still a little bit of a risk to say, I'd rather be set up for success than sitting there regretting it, feeling like, oh man, I totally could have gone and I missed out on my opportunity, or I missed out on savings, right? So many people, that's the reason why they're constantly asking for a deal, or maybe they're waiting for a deal, is because it's like, they don't want to miss out. Okay, well, what if this deal never comes back? And so it's not that the value of our products is not there. It's that people don't want to miss out on something. So anyway, I'm totally sidetracking here, but I really want you guys to think about the what ifs in your life, whether it's Plexus, your products, your business, the challenge, or something else totally different in your life. And I want you to think about all the what ifs that you're saying, all of the imaginary situations that you are making up, because that is what a what if is. What if is literally your imagination running wild in all of the negative ways. It's literally like dreams versus nightmares. Okay. Like your what ifs on the positive side are like dreams. They're like the best dreams you ever had, the most amazing, when you close your eyes and you have these beautiful, amazing dreams. And the what ifs and the negative are like your worst nightmares. And literally, most of us are sitting here every single day manifesting like nightmares. Like, well, what if this happens? And what if that happens? And what if this person says this? Or what if that person says that? And we're literally sabotaging ourselves because of these potential things that are not even, they're not even like, they might not even happen, right? And instead, so what I want you guys to do is instead, I want you to think about those dreams. And I think so many of us, it's just so hard to dream because we've been conditioned that sometimes those things don't happen. Now, I don't know where that disconnect happened, that we went from being a little kid and believing that everything was possible to being an adult who says, well, what if it doesn't work? And we just think all the bad things are going to happen. But somewhere along the line that happened. And so I want you guys to be able to tap into that. What if it did work? So I want you guys, even in the comments, drop some of those what if phrases. Some of the ones I wrote down were like, what if it doesn't work? What's the opposite of that? Well, what if it does, right? Or what if it changes everything? What if they don't like me? Well, what if they love me? What if we become best friends? What if I end up leading the way for people, right? Like, think about the positive of that in relationships. What if they get offended? what if this is the answer to their prayers? You guys know when it came to Plexus, that was the thing for me. This was literally the answer to Tim and my prayers. We were praying and thinking and searching for a year for supplements. And Amber literally just going down through her friends list, she could have sat there and been like, oh my gosh, well, what if Allie thinks that I'm crazy and she never speaks to me again? Like, well, first of all, we really weren't talking anyway. We never spoke since middle school. Okay. And then second of all, like, it was the answer to our prayers. And so I'm so thankful that she stepped out of her comfort zone and she reached out to somebody she didn't talk to in like 15 years. Okay. Because look at it now and look at the friendship that we have built, right? What if I waste my money? What if this is the best investment I've ever made? Right? What if I fail? There's a great quote that says, you know, what if I fail? Well, my darling, what if you fly? Right? I love that one so much. Just that picture of, you know, but what if you fly? Like, are you willing to just sit there and stay in the same place when the potential of flight, when the potential of change, when the potential of just growth is so exponential, you guys? You know, what if I bust my butt? Like, I think about this challenge. I think about working out. Like, what if I bust my butt? What if I beat my body? What if it hurts? Right? Like, and you say, yeah, well, what if you learn discipline? What if you build results? What if you build strong muscles, right? All of these things. And if we flip it to the positive, which honestly, in most cases is most likely to happen, but let's talk about this a little bit. I think that whatever we focus on, there's a saying that says what you focus on expands, right? And if you focus on the nightmare, if you focus on the what if all the bad things that are going to happen, those are going to be the things that you see. Those are going to be the outcomes that you are looking at. But if you decide to focus on all of the positive, on all of the endless possibilities that are out there, like, seriously, that is what you're going to see, because your eyes are going to be opened anew to all of the possibilities, to the galaxies that are out there, to the stars, to everything, right? You're no longer going to be living in this haze, putting this ceiling on yourself of this is all I could possibly get to, because that's all as far as you've ever gone. You've never been willing to go further than that. You've never been willing to take even the slightest risk. But this is the thing, every one of you on here, you've taken some risk at some point, because you all placed an order for Plexus. And I've said this to a few people on it a few times, but if you've said yes to Plexus, you have taken a brave step. You have trusted somebody in your life to say, I don't really know if this is going to work, but I'm going to trust your word for it. Or I trust the info you gave me. I'm trusting the ingredient labels, like whatever it is, where you took a seed of trust, right? And you put it in these products or in your friend or what have you, and you did something to take a change. That is bravery. That is bravery. It doesn't mean you're not afraid. It doesn't mean you're not afraid of what's the outcome going to be, right? But it means that you do it anyway. You take the step to see what is the possibilities, right? And I'll tell you something that, you know, I just envision, I've shared this analogy a few times, but I envision like a pen. I seriously do. I envision a little tiny pen. And that when we are constantly saying these what if and the negatives, we are literally sitting there and we are just butting our heads against the pen. We are just staying in the pen, butting our heads. And but when we go to that positive, well, what if? And we just, like, I just feel that, you guys, when I say that, like, but what if it does happen? What if, like, just all the things that are out there, you guys, it's not scary. It's amazing to think about the endless possibilities. And you step out of that gate and it's like, look at what is out there. And that's why I will say, like, I love listening to people who have been in this longer than me. I love listening to Alita Langford. If you don't know who that is, we need to get you on some Plexus Diamond documentaries or Power Hours, or you ask me about her story. I love listening to Jennifer Leith. I love listening to Amber. I love listening to Megan. I love listening to these people who have been here longer, to be able to actually paint a picture of what that dream could look like in my mind, right? And this is why when we invite people in, we share with them testimonies, we share with them stories, because we want to paint a picture of what the possibilities could be. Listen, it might not look exactly the same for you, but it could be something like this. You know, and say, well, what if it doesn't work? But what if it does and you didn't try it? you know? And so there's just so much potential here. And there's so many people that my heart just breaks all of the time because they stop themselves because they're just so afraid. And I have had people who have not ordered the products, or they've given it a tiny little shot and then they stop. And it's literally because they have had so many things not work for them in the past that they don't want to get their hopes up. And I'm like, that it's so sad. That's so sad to me. And we've all been there, I think, in at some area of our life. And we're just so afraid of getting our hopes up and being disappointed again. But you guys, if we're not willing to step out and be disappointed, we're never going to find the thing that satisfies. We're never going to find the thing that is going to be the answer. We're never going to do anything really if we're not willing to take a tiny bit of risk. You know, that's what vulnerability is. That's what stepping out of our comfort zone is. All of those phrases that people talk about that feel like super exposed, but that's the only way that you grow. I mean, that's the way you build relationship, friendship, love, all of those things. It's taking a little bit of ourselves and putting out there without protection, right? And being like, oh my gosh, what if? But I will tell you what, that's what I love so much about Plexus is you do have some protection because you have a support system here who's not going to let you fail if you're willing to step in and get a little dirty, right? Do like, okay, I'm going to figure out my products. I'm going to figure out my regimen. Many of you guys who are on here, you have been on calls in group chats, like, okay, I'm going to the bathroom too much, or okay, I'm going to the bathroom not enough, or okay, I'm feeling this way through my cycle, you know, and we're able to troubleshoot the things, and then we're able to celebrate the things that we would never even talk about with anybody else. But you guys, those things that you'd never talk about, like how much freedom have those little changes made in your life? I know they've made huge like changes and freedoms in my own life. So I want you guys to think about for yourself, you know, what has taking that step in Plexus, placing your order, taking the products, what possibilities has that opened for you? You know, that when you sat there and if you looked at the like, well, what if it doesn't work? And there was a little bit of you that leaned towards that, well, what if it does? Like, I'm willing to take the risk because what if this does work? That you opened up possibilities to yourself. And I want you now to take it to the next level, right? What is the next thing that I can do? You've heard me say before, what I have loved in this, the passion I have found in this is letting people see what they're really capable of. Because you guys, I thought I was healthy. I thought I was fine. Honestly, could I have survived the rest of my life the way I was before Plexus? Yeah, sure. I would have been okay. But stepping into Plexus and knowing like, holy crap, I did not know that I could feel better than that. I didn't know that I could feel this good. Now I want to go after things. I want to see how good can I really feel? How good can I really be? How many people can I really reach? How many miles can I really run? How many pounds can I really lift, right? Like how long can my hair really grow? You know, like all of these things to really like to test ourselves, to see what we're made of, right? And in that process, we are becoming more and more the person that we are meant to be. So every single little step, every single what if that you stop in its tracks and you say, I am going to believe that there is potential here. Potential for disaster? Sure. But potential for great success? Sure. Like, am I going to give up that opportunity of great success because what am I really afraid of? So if any of you guys are resonating with this, but you're not sure how to get there, and you've never done a fear story call, I would very much encourage you to reach out to me and say, let's do a fear story call, because that's basically what a fear story is. We're going to go in and we're going to find out, what is your fear story? What's the story that you're telling yourself that is stopping you in your tracks from all of the things, right? From doing the things, from seeing growth, from seeing change. What's the thing that's blocking your relationships? What's the thing that's blocking your income? You guys, that's something that I never thought of, like, you know, that my mindset was blocking my income. Like, no, I was like, okay, like, let me just work a little harder. Let me just have a little more faith, but didn't realize that my mindset and my fear was all mixed up in my income and in my paying off debt and in all of those things. Hold on, let me see what these comments say, because I see a lot of people saying, yeah, Jess. Okay, because I said yes to the products and then to sharing, my mom's blood sugar has gone from 215 to 107. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And that, like, there are so many stories, you guys, just on this call right here alone, the people who are on here, everybody can share at least one win, at least one change that has happened. And think about the people who are around you. Like, this is the last thing I have you to do. I want you to think about one person one person that it would mean the world to you to make that kind of difference in their life, to give them some sort of what if it does work scenario, to give them some sort of possibility, right? What if the products do work? What if the business does work? What if this is your way out? What if this doesn't have to be your plan B? What if this becomes your plan A, right? What if this is the way that you pay off debt? What if this is the way you provide vacation for your kids? What if this is the way you renovate your house? What if this is the way you send your kids to school? What if this is the way you get a new car? What if this is the way you gift to missions, or you adopt, or you whatever, right? You got a puppy, right? That's what we just did. We just got a puppy and for Christmas. And this is a huge part of that, being able to say, okay, we can provide a puppy to our kids and we can provide for a puppy. You guys, it's still like another mouth to feed here. So, and being able to have that and take a little bit more risk. Like, we held off on getting a puppy for years and years, and now we just got a puppy and we're like, why did we wait so long? And there are so many things that we stand in fear or in just worry about, and if we kind of just let it go, like, we're creating so much drama in our head that is not even real. How many of us are literally, like, when you do that what if in the negative, you're literally creating drama in your head that's real. That's not even real. It's fake drama. It's like a fake story. It's like you just wrote a book, and then you told yourself that was reality. How many of you ever woken up from a dream or a nightmare and you were so convinced that was real because it felt so real? Like, that's literally what we were doing to ourselves. We were waking up, we're feeling these emotions as though we already failed. Because we said, well, what if I fail? And then we feel that feeling of failure. It's like, stop it. You didn't even sign up yet. How can you already feel like you failed? Like, stop. Just back up for 1 second. Like, I had somebody, she said to me many times, she's like, just say no to the drama. Like, just don't be a part of the drama. I'm like, I'm not. I hate drama. Da, da, da. And she's like, just by like playing that out in your head, you are a part of the drama. I'm like, oh shoot, no, I don't want to be. I don't want to be a part of the drama. So anyway, I'm getting on a total sidetrack here. So I will just end it going back to that what I had shared with you guys. I kind of wrote down the things that are what if stops you from pursuing now will be the things you regret and say what if about later. So do not let the what if today turn into the regret of tomorrow. And I hope that for somebody, this is something that you needed to hear. Maybe there's a decision you need to make. Maybe there's a step you need to take, or maybe you're just realizing I have a negative mindset and there is something that I need to do to change that, because I don't want to live in fear. I don't want to live in worry. I don't want to live in imagining the worst case scenarios about every single situation in my life. Who wants to live there? I mean, think about your kids, think about your friends, think about your parents. Do you want them to live in their, like, literally thinking about the worst case scenarios in every single situation? I mean, I know I don't. That's sad. That would be sad to watch somebody living like that. And yet we do that to ourselves so often. So anyway, I love you guys so much. I wish I had this when I was younger. Listen, it's never too late. Okay. That is the thing. Like, we don't want to regret things for tomorrow, but this is the thing. Like, we can still, like, we can redeem the years. Okay. And everything that we have chosen in the past, we can turn into a reason for today, right? We can turn into something we learn from. We can get a gift. It can become a gift for us because we learned from it. And we can say, I wish I had learned this before. And it's like, okay, well then let's learn it now. Let's not let another day go by that we live stuck in the same place physically, like geographically, or even it mentally and in our mindset. So I love all of you guys. You guys are very prayed for. And I hope that you are having a great week, just literally just stepping into the new year. This is the other thing about the new year. I showed this to you guys before, but like, it's literally a year of possibilities. And I think for some people that scares them and they say, oh my gosh, but what if everything goes wrong and there's all these things going on in the world? It's like, yeah, but we get to choose for us what it's going to be, because we get to choose what's in here and what's in here. And this is the thing, you guys, freedom is not about what's going on around outside of us. It's about what's going on inside of us. We get to choose how we feel. We get to choose to make decisions that we want to make. So you guys have that power. And I want you to feel that tonight. I want you to write down some decisions that you made that were your own. I know that I keep saying I'm going to go, but I'll just share one last quick story because this is my husband and I anniversary. And I just said that, but literally Tim and I got married 13 years ago. I was 19 and Tim was 23. And we had some people who were super supportive and some people who were like, oh my gosh, you're crazy. Why are you getting married so young and all of these things? And I will tell you what, that was one of the, I think the bravest things that I did, just because I did not let the opinions of others really get in the way of us getting married and doing what we knew that God was leading us to do and what we felt in our hearts and what we wanted to set our lives up for, like why wait kind of thing. And it was the best decision that I ever made. And I will tell you what, the decisions that you make in bravery will be the best decisions you've ever made. You are not going to look back on those decisions and be like, oh my gosh, well, I was so stupid. Like, do they always work out perfectly? Not necessarily. Have there been bumps in the road? Of course they're hard. We're human beings. But I do not regret that decision for even 1 second, because I was in my right mind and I was making that decision out of bravery, out of passion, out of faith, and all of those things. And this is the thing, like whatever we do that is okay, this is a little bit of a risk, those are always the things that you get the greatest turnaround in. So thank you guys so much for listening to me ramble. I love all of you guys dearly. I hope that this year you are literally still just dreaming of all of the possibilities that there are, and that you can make even one decision this week of something to do, to step into or dig deeper in or go higher in, because there's always deeper and higher to go. So have a great night, guys. Thank you.